While the world's eyes are on Egypt this morning as the country has a new democratically elected president. Thousands packed Tahrir Square to celebrate after the Muslim Brotherhood endorsed candidate Mohamed Morsy was declared the winner. He beat out Ahmed Safik, Hosni Mubarak's last prime minister. Morsy won by the slimmest of margins with just over 51% of the vote. So Egyptians elect an Islamist endorsed by the Muslim Brotherhood as president. So what, in fact, does it mean for Egypt and the rest of the world? Brigitte Pellerin joins us now live from Ottawa, and I think you need only listen to the acceptance speech to get a good feel of what Egypt is going to look like moving forward.
Oh, absolutely. You also have to look at who's happy and who's openly cheering for this victory. Hamas was first off, I think, or one of the first ones yesterday to declare its joy at the results in Egypt, and that tells you just about all you need to know. Also, what tells you something is, you know, people wonder, well, the Muslim Brotherhood, I mean, even some people in the U.S. administration were declaring them kind of moderate Islamic or Islamists. It's not really so true that they are very moderate. Just a little while ago, I believe last week, a prominent cleric with the Muslim Brotherhood was introducing and speaking at a rally where this Morsy, the new president, was present, talked about the fact that he wanted Jerusalem to be the new capital of Egypt, not Cairo, Jerusalem, which is in the other country, Israel. And he did say, I mean, we have this, we could show you on the board, he did say that the United States of the Arabs will be restored on the hands of that man, Morsy, and his supporters. The capital of the Muslim Caliphate will be Jerusalem. And he also says, with Allah's will, of course, and yes, we will either pray in Jerusalem or we will be murdered there. You know, there's a number of issues here that really ought to be of great concern, especially to Israel, but to friends of Israel, including Canada and the United States. And the fact that the peace treaty that Israel has had with Egypt for a long time now may be at stake. So it will be a very, very worrisome kind of new development. What just happened yesterday and what will happen in the next couple of days will tell us a lot about whether or not it's time to hit the panic button or just watch this with great concern.
So have we had any reaction, not just from Prime Minister Harper or anyone in Canada, but have we had any reaction from the White House? This could be a big problem for NATO countries.
Both the White House and the Canadian governments, I will paraphrase a little bit because they tend to be a bit long-winded about these things, but both John Baird and Jim Carney, the spokesman for President Obama, both talked about this a good step towards achieving democracy, and we urged the new regime in Egypt to maintain the rule of law and basically behave like a normal country. So this, again, I'm paraphrasing their statements, but this is roughly what they said. But when you ask people who know better about the kind of people that the Muslim Brotherhood are, including Coptic Christians in Canada, you get a very, very different reaction. I believe we have a few reactions from Coptic Christians in Toronto that our colleague Cindy Palm collected just yesterday. Let's have a look at that.
I'm here at a Coptic church in Toronto, and just mere seconds after the results came in, after we all learned that the Muslim Brotherhood candidate Mohamed Morsy had won the elections, people here were already talking about it. In Egypt, there is a small minority Christian population, and many people who attended this service have family in Egypt, have relatives there, and even voted in the election. And their reaction overwhelmingly was that there is a fear of the unknown with this Islamist leader who is now in power. And this is what they had to say right after the results were announced.
No way.
I cannot believe it. Until
no
now,
way, no way.
It's gonna be happen.
No way. This is a disaster, you know.
Yeah.
It's going like hell now.
It's really going to be bad.
And how do you think it's going to affect Christians?
Oh, you can say the 12 or 13 million Christians that live in there. See you later. The same thing that happened in Baghdad, Iraq, for the Christians will happen in Egypt.
Of course, it's normal that people would be a little leery about an Islamist group taking hold of the administration, and they've shown recently, at least in their speeches, a kind of tolerance and a kind of willingness to work together, and we hope that this will be materialized as reality.
And many people I spoke with here, the ones who are able to vote in Egypt, they tell me that they voted for Ahmed Shafiq. He is a former prime minister in Mubarak's regime. And they tell me it's not because they feel that he is the best candidate, but they feel that he is the best of the very worst. And of course, with this election result, it means that it's ending 16 months of turmoil after Hosni Mubarak was ousted from power by the people in February of last year. This represents a historic election, but when we're speaking with Christians here, they are disappointed in the results. Cindy Palm, Sun News Network, Toronto.
So there you go, Alex. To be sure, the choices were not awesome in this election. There was nobody really who was, the West preferred candidate, but obviously the Muslim Brotherhood perhaps not the best news for the rest of the world, certainly not for Israel.
No, interesting times ahead. All right, Brigitte, thank you.
Thank you.